last minute shopper, if you are a person who kind of says, I didn't get around to it yet, although I really believe that our QVC viewers shop year round. I think you see things you love, I think you find prices you love, and I think you just tuck things away and you have a boatload full of great stuff for all the people in your life. So I think that's wonderful, but maybe it's time just for a little something for you. Beaded bracelets are the rage. Beaded everything. And we did this because of the age of possibility. We did this specifically for the woman who said, I do not want to deal with a clasp. I want to be able to slide something right on my wrist and I want it to look absolutely gorgeous. This is your choice of silver, gold, or rose. And what's neat about it is there are 135 stones and they're set all across the top. It's not one row or two rows, it's 5 rows. 5 rows. There you can see the arc, and then you have row 1, row 2, at the very top, row 3. Then we go back over to the other side, 4 and 5. These are 135 hand-set gorgeous stones, and here's the underneath portion. Beautifully finished off, smooth, silky, easy to wear, will not tug on any little hairs that you might have on your wrist. And then we have the stretch, and we have 2 sizes. You have the option of going for the small medium, which is your average wrist. Those of you who wear a 7, 7.5, 7 3/4, that's your average because it's going to stretch. It's on a very, very strong wire. For those of you who say, I wear like a size 8, 9, 10 ring, I have a large wrist, I'm at least an 8-inch bracelet, if not 8 1/4, 8.5, then you want to pick up the large. We are one of the few places where you can get a bracelet that is sized accordingly, average or large. Lots of stretch. Let me just show you on my wrist. I am wearing the average. And I have, I guess I would say, an average to somewhat smaller wrist. I do have a fairly small wrist. I wear a size 6 ring, and so my wrist is, you know, relatively small. Look at the room on this. There's tons of room in this, and it stretches. So I encourage you, do not oversize. If you are a 7.5, for example, that should fit you just fine in the small medium. If you are over an 8, then you do want to go with the larger size. And that way you have something that sits beautifully, is comfortable, is smooth, no pinching. All sterling silver beads. They're about 6 millimeters in size. And then you have that placket. It's called a placket. It's that arced piece that goes across the top. This is $139.98. It's on Easy Pay, 5 payments of $28. And you are looking at 1 3/4 carats among those 135 hand set stones. I just love the bracelet, and I love it to wear with other pieces. If you already have a wristful like I do, if you're that person that wears all kinds of bracelets, I've seen baby bracelets, the ones with your kids' names. I've seen charm bracelets that may have been handed down. Of course, tennis bracelets. Many of you have all kinds of cool little designed bracelets, diamonds, Diamonique. You might have multicolored bracelets. Look at, you can put these all on together and they look so pretty. There's that one right up front. You can compare it to the little beads of the one that has the initial or the antiquity one, but you can see right here that these are larger beads and definitely one that has the most presence on the top. Really, really pretty piece, and it looks beautiful with that new heirloom ring. I have all 3 colors on. That's the yellow, that's the blue, and that's the clear. So there's just such pretty, pretty sparkle that comes off the Diamonique, and so wearable, and the fact that you don't have to have anybody help you put it on or take it off. No clasps, no hassle. Beautifully done on the underside. That's important. When you buy a fine piece of jewelry, you don't want it to look junky on the underside. You don't want the gold to look too yellow, that it's brassy. When you have the silver, you want it to be a nice high polished silver that's going to stay beautiful. And if you're a rose lover, you're lucky if you can find a rose bracelet. There just aren't that many out there. And when you do find one, they don't often offer you a size. It's one size fits all. This one, you can have the average size or you can go a little larger to accommodate that bigger wrist. Beautiful pieces. And if you're a person that wants to go whole hog, all 3 metals together, the tricolor, wow, wow, wow. Now that's obviously a boatload of money, but still, that is a really, really pretty trio. I mean, I do love tricolor. I think it's beautiful. We have so many things on the books for next year, January, February, Valentine's Day. We're looking at simulated emerald for your May babies. We have all sorts of beautiful colors coming in. Another rainbow bracelet is coming in. And the woman who asked me about the old baguette rainbow bracelet, it is going to be online soon. You're going to be able, we have a lot of things online, by the way, that are not in fact sold actively by me. If you go to QVC.com and you pull up Kathy Levine Diamonique, you will see a lot of items that are on there as an extended assortment to what I already feature on camera. So that's really nice. You get to see things that you haven't seen at all. So if you're hunting for something, if you say, you know, I'm really looking for something in a tennis bracelet, but I want something with a little rainbow color, I want something a little different, just go to QVC.com, pull up Kathy Levine Diamonique and see what else we have in that extended grouping that doesn't hit the airways. So that's just great. It's like anything else. You go for one item, but they show you 50. It's like, oh, wow, I didn't see that. I never saw that before. That's just what I was looking for. So it does make it nice. Anyway, back to these 135 round stones, all set beautifully for you on those 6mm beads. And then you have that carat weight of 1 3/4 carats. Really popular. I called it high note. I actually made a mistake and wrote High Point, and somebody said, oh, I want to watch because I'm from High Point, North Carolina. And I said, oh, I didn't mean High Point, I meant high note. But it is kind of a high note bracelet. It just sort of has that just, you know, optimistic, fun feel to it. Perfect by itself, perfect layered, beautiful with other rings. Obviously, anything that you wear it with. I think with the tennis bracelet, it's gorgeous. I had it on with the Ice Dance bangle last time I was on. That was beautiful. So layer up. Have an old wrist frenzy. It's perfect. These are bracelets that really like to be paired up and worn in multiples, and it just gives you such a nice look. Very, very classy, fancy. All those stones, 135 set in 5 rows on an arc so that it sits on the wrist comfortably. It doesn't just stand across the top. So, excuse me, this one's 442467, the Pave Bar High Note, not High Point, at $139.98, 5 payments of $28.